Hello, hello, everybody. Oh, this is upside down. Okay, that does. Right? Yes. Okay, well, you're going to have to. Oh, it's completely inverted. Gonna have to figure out how to deal with that. Anywho, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. And Dudley's joining us too. I forget. I'm being attacked by a little itty bitty puppy who needs to get attention because he's an attention seeker. Yes, he is. Hi. Okay, the people want to see what we're doing. They don't want to see us snuggle, but thanks. Okay, so Dudley, enough. Hi. All right, so I'm gonna get down to some stitching as soon as I can get the dog to get off my table. Get off my table. Okay, enough. Enough. Hi. All right, well, that's a little bit better. Not much, though. And we want to flip this around, actually. That's better. Hopefully that's better. I think there's somebody here, so hello to whoever's here. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know if you want me to change anything or do anything, or if you want me to explain anything. I'm here to stitch, but also to share my knowledge, which is not a lot, but enough that I think it's good enough to share. So thank you so much for joining. And let's see if we can get down to some business here. That's better. I think you're going to be able to see that better. I hope. So, is that better? I hope. Anyway, okay, so last time I put these together, that's my needle that I was using, and I started a new needle just with this block, so hopefully that will go well. And get out my little supplies, and these are basically everything that I would use on a normal basis. I don't change anything just because I'm live streaming. Well, because this is my first live stream, but and okay, my attached scissors. I've got these guys, and I'm going to just attach those right over there so I don't lose them. Yes, okay. And so remembering that when you start to stitch, when you're threading your needle, you want to start with the end that's coming off of the spool. That's the side that's going onto your needle. And then eventually we'll be going through the fabric. And that is because of the many numerous ways. Now, what I used to do, and I think I'm going to do that today because it was a little hard to do on screen the other night, is just tie a little knot. And that's just a little bit of security for me. I don't have a great grip. So if I just tie a knot at the end there, I seem to find that it works a little bit better. Cutting it right around my elbow length. My forearm length, I guess is the right word to say. And then we are going to put a knot in the end. So I make a circle, and that's the only way that I can remember how to do this. I hold the end with my finger, wrap it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm just going to hold those 5 twists and pull the rest of it through, and that is your typical quilter's knot. So that's that. Nice and easy. quick to get started. It's lovely because these needles are actually quite, the eye is actually quite nice in them. It's quite large, so it makes it easier to see. And then, so our next row around are these blue ones. So I'm going to start here. And because I like the flat back, I'm just doing this, and I'm doing it on the table because I find it easier to get them lined up. Because we're doing it on a flat surface. We're doing our flat back on a flat surface. And then let's get those two attached. Still doesn't look right. There it is. This is one of the things that I actually do like about flat backing, is because you can tell as soon as you're doing it that they're either going to match or not match. And if they're going to not match, it's so much easier while you're hand stitching, because it's so much slower to actually get them to look and to ease the fabric in the way that you want it to look. So starting a new thread, which means that we're going to start from the right hand side because I'm right-handed, and we're going to go around this way, around to the left. If I were left-handed, I would start on the left-hand side and I would work my way to the right. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. And in order to start this, I'm going to bury my knot in my fabric. And so I'm just burying that knot, pulling it through. I don't pull it too hard because I tend to pull it through, which I don't want to do, obviously. And we're going to start with an anchor. So we're going through both layers of fabric, or both types of fabric. And then through the loop to create a knot. And I do like to do that twice. Probably don't need to, but I like to. I know that Tula Pink doesn't do any knots, so that makes it interesting too. Oh, and then I just unthreaded it. See, that's why the knot is important, for me at least. Dudley? Hi. What are you doing, bud? I think he's trying to get himself buried under the blankets. So maybe I will help him with that so that he's going to disturb us less. Your Wubba! This is his toy, his Wubba. This is his new one because he had to get a new one because he destroyed the last one, the fishy. Yes. He's a good boy. Yeah? Is he a good boy? Okay. So I'm going to have to go back to marrying the thread, I think, the next time. Once I'm done this row, or once I'm done these stitches, I'm just going to switch it back to the marrying the thread. I think that works much better for me. And so it is Sunday evening. I am a single mom. I'm actually kidless at the moment, but they will be home soon enough, I'm sure. Anybody have any fun plans for the week? Let me know, because I like living vicariously through others, because, you know, we're still on lockdown at the moment here in Ontario. I'm hoping you guys can hear me, because if not, I'm talking to myself again. But that's okay. So hopefully you guys can see this. I had to take off my glasses, which means I can no longer see the computer. I can only see my stitching. I was re-watching Tula Pink's Fat Quarter Shop YouTube videos. She's got a series of 3. They are fantastic, and they're probably the most succinct method of explaining that I have ever seen. Most thorough. She gives the most, like, in a quick amount of time, she gives so many tips. And I learned a lot from her videos, and I really appreciate being able to rewatch them over and over again. Because I didn't get all of it the first time around, because, you know, you can only focus on 1 or 2 things to start, and then you expand from there. So because I'm new, picked up a couple things, get going with what you're doing, watch the videos again, and then you realize, oh, I should have done that. That would make it easier. And you go back to it, and then all of a sudden things are starting to come together, and you get faster. And what are you grumping about over there? Oh, I lost my needle again. I lost my thread again, I mean. Well, hello. You want to play, do you? Does my dad want to play? Yes, we'll have to show some pictures of you later. Yes. I'll show some good pictures of you later. Yeah. I don't want to play right now, though, sweetheart. I know. I do love you, but I just don't want to play. Yeah. The only problem with going live when you have no kidlets is that the puppy decides when he wants to interrupt. And there's nobody around to help with that. But that's okay. Sorry if you couldn't see that. I don't think you could. I'm trying to do this so that we can both see what I'm doing. And like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If I do not know the information, I will let you know and then see what I can do to find out the information for you. I am one of those that is willing to admit I do not know everything. Not only do I not know everything, I don't know a lot of things. And I believe with my channel that I would like to be as realistic and as real life as I can possibly be, which for me means mistakes. And I think that everyone is entitled to mistakes. And I think that everyone makes mistakes. And we learn from them. You move on. You move up. You move on. You learn. You discover. You challenge. And then you move on. Hopefully that makes sense. Fibrofog does not necessarily mean that the things that come out of my mouth are actual things. So one of the big reasons why I wanted to start the channel was to show people in my situation with medical issues and young kids, not that young anymore, but young enough, and busy lives, that this kind of stuff doesn't have to take up all of your time. But I think that it's important that we all have some sort of outlet for our frustrations, to get our thoughts out, to be able to clear our thoughts, especially those of us with fibro, or dementia, or anything that your mind is involved with, that your focus isn't always the best. So probably people with ADHD would have these sort of thoughts and have need for an outlet. Oops. And this one's nice because it shares my vision. It allows me to organize my thoughts, but it also allows me to share my vision with others and to move on and to grow as a person. So, personal growth is big in my books too. So, now it is Sunday, so I suspect, well, I don't suspect, I know that a lot of the creators that I follow currently are posting their weekly Mujo creations. So I'll probably do that next. Get my bullet journal ready for the week. Start planning things. Because the bullet journal has been my savior during COVID, because I had no outlet. I've had kids 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, a lot of the time, which I'm not used to. I've had health issues. I've had treatment reductions. Couldn't get into my treatments. Still can't at the moment. So I've had some ups and downs, but I'm doing what I can, and just got to keep swimming. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. You know, Dory. Because it's in one ear and out the other. Yeah, that's pretty much every sharp point. Most spoonies, to be honest with you. Most of the ones that I know, anyway. Okay. How many times can you guys see me put a knot in a piece of thread? The same piece of thread, over and over and over. It's alright. 'Tis what it is. So I'm just trying to ease these two corners together a little bit better. I clearly used two different techniques to making these papers because they're not matching very well. So one of them must be changed from the other. Okay, so I'm at the end. I'm doing my anchor. And like I said, I usually do my anchor twice. So that's through both fabrics and then through both fabrics again. And then a little knot. Okay. And we've got one more piece added to our project. And I need to find my glasses. Just going to check on what's going on over here. Doesn't look like there's anybody else joining us, but if you have joined us on the playback, thank you very much. I do appreciate the support. I would very much so appreciate the sub. If you were able to subscribe and like my video, it would be much appreciated. All right. So I cut that end from the spool. So I'm going to use the other end. Dudley. Quiet. I'm going to use the other end to thread through here. And then I'm going to try to marry the thread. So what the marrying the thread is, it's basically opening up the twist of the thread so that you can get in between the two, or however many plies there is. Dudley. Dudley. Shh. So you want to leave a space, go through. You want to leave a couple twists, go through. Again, I'm hoping that you're getting this on the camera because, again, I've taken my glasses off. That's not it. There we go. And I'm going to do one more just for posterity. There we go. And then you can see there's multiple places where the needle has gone through the thread. And then I'm going to pull this thread. Keep doing that wrong, but I'll get it eventually. I think I just created a slip knot there, but that's okay. That would well work. And then around the other side, so making a circle, holding the end, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pulling those together and all the way through. Forgive me, just need to blow my nose. So I like the medical tape because I can reuse it several times. I like the texture of it. And I find that it holds better for longer than, for example, a washi or painter's tape or masking tape would last. And for me, the biggest thing is the size of the spool. So because this is a packable project, it's something that I want to take with me on the go. I like the smaller roll of the medical tape. Just a personal preference. It would be the same if I used washi tape because washi tape tends to come in those smaller rolls too. Which when I run out of this one, I may switch to, because I do have lots of washi tape and I should probably use it up before I do anything else. Because, we do want to live a minimalist life style here. We are working on minimalism here. So we don't want to have too much stuff, and yet at the same time, we want to be able to do the things that we enjoy the most. I'm just actually appreciating the way that the back looks. These I clearly cut. This is not a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. That would be a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, but this is definitely not. So I do like that better though. I know Tula Pink talks about that too. And Sue Daly does 3/8 of an inch things well. So it's just one of those things. It's just that much easier to get it wrapped around the edge of the paper and then to be held down without destroying the integrity of the fabric, integrity of the fabric and the integrity of the paper. Okay, so one fabric, second fabric, anchor, and double anchor. Now, if you notice something, oh, maybe it's not anymore. It was twisting. Not sure why it was doing that. So, in my English paper piecing group on Facebook, see a lot of people talking about different things, and people come from all over the world, and paper piecing seems to be much more popular in Britain and Australia. But really does seem to be gaining a following here in the US, in North America, I should say, because I'm Canadian. I can't say the US, but and now that one I think I cut through the paper. And I can't tell you why I know that. I just can feel it. It's just that much harder to go through. Could just be glue, but oh, see, that's too much of a knot there. Okay. Oh, this is not heavy. Okay, this is not happy, so I'm going to snip it. And I'm going to rethread. Because that was the 3rd time in a row that I got caught on it. So, real life, you mess up, you start over. I'm really doing a number on my thumb there. Ow. Oh my goodness, I'm already hitting the half-hour mark. So if you're still watching, thank you. I appreciate you watching this far. It really does not seem very clear, huh? I'll have to go back through it. I may not be able to use this. Why won't it? Is it really that unclear? It is. Huh. Well, let's get this one done. This piece, and then we'll start again another time. Oh, I can see stuff on that. Oh, that's better. All right. I'm just going to finish to the corner of this, and then I'm going to say goodbye for now. I need to get some stuff done on the other side of things. I do have a couple of videos from last night that I will be uploading this evening. At least I hope I will. Oops. We'll go from there, see how things are going. So if you have any suggestions, comments, concerns, questions, I foster a healthy, positive grouping and a positive community where we support one another and help each other and want each other to succeed. And when I can't do something, I'm hopeful that one of you will be able to either help me with it or know someone who can. And that's one of the best parts of a community. And so far, all of my experience with the quilting community has been virtual. Because I began quilting after COVID began. And it had been something that I was thinking about for ages. I love the look of quilting. I love the precision of quilting. But I wasn't exactly sure how much I was going to love it. And that a lot of that love comes from the fact that I can be so precise and linear, which seems counterintuitive in some ways, because quilting in itself is curvy, typically. So, all right. So I'm going to end there. I want to say thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your faith in me. The greatest compliment that you could pay me would be to like this video, and to subscribe to my channel. I do appreciate all of your time, and I think you've done a fabulous job today. So thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon.